past perfect progressive or past perfect continuous tense. All right. Okay, guys, when we're talking about past perfect progressive, disconnect the past progressive to the past simple. So that is to say, there is an action that started in the past and is still going on in the past with another action that already started, and the other action that already started is the simple past. So like we are talking about two events here. So one of the events is in the past perfect progressive and the other event is in the simple past. So these are the two events, event 1 and event 2. So this is just a little similar with the past perfect tense. You know, the past perfect tense, these are two past action. These are two events. These two events, which event that will go first? They are the past perfect comes in. So here the past perfect progressive, these are two events. But one of the events is in the past perfect progressive. And the other event is in past simple. Right? So like example here, had plus been plus ing verb. So this is the simple formula for the event 1. And the event 1 is the past perfect progressive. So event 2, simple past. That is the simple past, you know. So these are two events. I have been reading. So I have been reading is a what? Past perfect progressive. I have been reading. Right? I made dinner. That is a simple past. That is the second event. So the first event, I have been reading. So the second event, I made dinner. You know? So these are all in the past. And one of the events is in the what? Past progressive. The action is in the past and it's still going on. And the other action, I made dinner, this is the action that already in the past, that I made dinner. So now we put the sentence into one. So we gotta, because now you gotta see we have the main clause and the subordinate clause. So let's see. All right. I have been reading all afternoon. So I have been reading all afternoon. This is the past perfect progressive. And this is the main clause. So now let's go to the past simple, the second event. So the second event is what? Before I made dinner. So before I made dinner, there is the subordinate clause. So we have the main clause and the subordinate clause. So the main clause is in the past perfect progressive. And the subordinate clause is in the what? Past simple. So this is a simple way to understand past perfect progressive or past perfect continuous tense. Use of past perfect continuous or past perfect progressive tense. You can say use or uses. All right. Uses. Okay. Uses can be the meaning of past perfect. This is just to expand your brain to know how to use this tense. All right. Okay, guys. So before we talk about uses, let's talk about time expression. So we can't talk about past perfect progressive without talking about time expression. So we have time expressions like before, by the time, for express a short period of time, since express a long period of time. So these are the time expression we use in past perfect progressive. All right. So time expression are used in all progressive, man. Any progressive, most of the progressive, they are using. We use time expression there. All right, guys, let's go. Perfect again. All right. Number 1, express a past action that already started. Express a past action that already started. And this past action that already started is a past perfect progressive. And continue up to another action. And the other action is a simple past or time in the past. So this is one of the uses of past perfect progressive, and it is also the meaning of past perfect progressive. So let's see the example here. The boys had been playing soccer for about an hour. So this is an action that started in the past and it's still going on in the past. All right. So it continued to another action. So the other action is what? When it started to rain. So when it started to rain, that is a subordinate clause. That is the time clause. So the main clause there is what? The boys have been playing soccer for about an hour. That is the main clause. So you gotta know the difference between the main clause and the subordinate clause. That is important. Okay. So but here it is in the subordinate clause, we have what we call a time clause. When it started to rain. And when it started to rain is in the simple past. Alright? Okay, let's go to the second one, guys. Okay. So the second one talks about emphasize the duration of activity in the past. To emphasize the duration of activities in the past. So activities that are going on in the past, to emphasize on them. You know, to emphasize on the duration. So like example here. Tom needed a holiday. Tom needed a holiday. That's a simple past. Tom needed a holiday. So now let's go to the past perfect progressive. Because he had been working hard for 6 months. So he had been working hard for 6 months. So for 6 months, this is the duration. So that's also to emphasize the duration. So he had been working hard for 6 months. For 6 months, this is the duration. All right. So that's why, because he had been working hard for 6 months. That is the main clause. Tom needed a holiday because. So Tom needed a holiday because. That is the subordinate clause. He had been working hard for 6 months. That is the main clause. All right. You gotta see the duration there for 6 months and for indicate a short period of time. All right. Okay, guys, let's go. And number 3, express cause of something in the past. It's express cause. It asks a question, why? So let's see how it asks a question, why? Because when you use the word cause, so it means why. All right. So let's see how it expresses the cost of something in the past. He was tired. Why? Because he had been jogging. So what is the cause? Because he had been jogging. He was tired because he had been jogging. All right. Okay, that's what we say. Express cause. Right. Okay, let's go. She was tired. Why? Why she was tired? Man, why she was tired? You're gonna tell me why she was tired. Okay. Why she was tired? Because she had been studying all night. Okay, so you gotta know in this way you can use this tense perfectly. All right. So, all right, guys, let's go. Something together we are number 4 talking about stative verbs. When we talk about stative verbs, these are non-action verbs. They don't express action. So remember, we don't use stative verb in any progressive. And this is a progressive, so we don't use stative verb in progressive. You get we have that one. So we have a lot of stative verbs. If you can check in my video, I remember that is the present simple. If you check that video, you can see a lot of stative verbs there. And these verbs didn't express action. Although sometimes we have dynamic verbs, but dynamic verbs can be a stative or non-stative verb, can be an action verb, no action verb. Dynamic verb, we have to talk about dynamic verb, but let's talk about the stative verb. So we never use stative verb in any progressive. And this past perfect progressive, we don't use any stative verbs there. So stative verbs like no, although no can be a dynamic verb also. We can also use it by saying knowing, but the meaning will change. But it is a stative verb. It doesn't express action. Like doesn't express action. Although some people are saying I'm liking it, that is for my English. It's incorrect. You know. All right. Like is okay. I like it. Okay. Dislike. All right. Love. Some people are saying I'm loving it. You say I'm loving it. That is incorrect. It's for my English. So love is a stative verb. It doesn't express action. All right. Hate. a stative verb. All right. Believe is a stative verb. All right. So let's talk about dynamic verbs. Dynamic verb, this can be stative or non-stative, can be action or non-action. So dynamic verbs like no. No can be a stative verb. No is a dynamic verb. It can be stative, it can be non-stative. Sometimes we can use it by saying knowing. Sometimes we can use by saying no. It just depends on the meaning we change. Check for present simple. You understand more about stative verbs, okay? Have, all right? So it's a dynamic verb. We can also say having. It depends on the sentence, but the meaning change, you know? All right. Seen is a dynamic verb. It can be seen. We can also use as see. So these are dynamic verbs. Dynamic verb, just check the present simple. There are a lot of dynamic verbs, stative verbs there. It's just to inform you that these stative verbs we don't use it in progressive, in past perfect progressive. Get aware of that one. Okay? Alright guys, let's go.